All right, guys, we must have a very important conversation, because what you guys will find out there published from media is articles just like this one. Okay, so stock market today, S&P 500, NASDAQ notch record as Nvidia takes the crown from Microsoft as the most valuable stock. So you're going to see a lot of positive articles out there, whether it's from Yahoo, CNBC, all of the media outlets. The problem with that is what it's going to do is it's going to induce people like yourselves to actually go ahead and make the wrong types of moves in the markets by jumping onto things that you've seen flying. Okay, what you guys need to realize is that 99% of the time, if you follow these media outlets, if you follow what they're publishing, you're actually going to be wrong. And in this business, it's all about finding your edge. It's all about finding an angle to actually go ahead and beat the markets. That's what I help you guys with every single week. Either I'm giving you guys price levels of exactly where some of these stocks are going to be going, or I'm educating you, teaching you something about the markets. If you follow the media, you're going to be led astray, and I don't want that for you guys. I want you to always be in the right lanes, always for you to be looking at the right things in these markets, and always to be maintaining your edge, because that means you're going to be successful with repeated trades pretty much week in and week out. Okay, if I go ahead and look at the charts, things like Micron, okay, that's just been flying high. This thing has set an all-time high, hovering around that, $150 level. There is no edge here. It has skyrocketed. We have no edge, but people are going to be jumping on to this. Things also like Nvidia, okay, that again has just been moving one direction, vertically up. We have no edge here. There is no edge in this type of trade. Qualcomm as well, same type of thing. All of these things have just been flying. There is no edge. Yes, there still may be room for them to climb, but that doesn't mean you have an edge. But check this out. Even though the markets have been, notching record highs pretty much most of these weeks, and you've seen some of these names skyrocketing, when it comes to finding an edge, you want to see what's happening underneath the surface, right? So this chart just shows you that not everything out there in the market is working, even though it may seem like that because you're seeing the names like Nvidia, seeing the names like Microsoft just skyrocketing. Most of the market actually is not working, okay? We have only 44% of the market above their 50-day moving average. That means that you've got a whole nother 55% that is below their 50-day moving average. That means that there's a whole 55% of the market that isn't working. And you know what's beautiful about that is that just gives you an opportunity, and that's where your edge lies in this type of market. Let me show you. I'm going to pull up Square. Okay. Can you see that this is now a complete reversal of the charts that I showed you before, the Microns, the Nvidias? This is in an undeniable downtrend, right? Skyrocketing downwards, not upwards like the other names were. This is part of that 55% that is not above that 50-day moving average. And you know what? This presents a much better, this is the type of thing where this is where your edge comes from, okay? So ignoring the stuff that's in the mainstream media, you have something like a Square that's looking like it's presenting what is a put trade opportunity, okay? Because we're seeing this is on a downtrend. It's just broken through that $62 level support, looking like it's going to head under $60, okay? So even though this isn't the type of information you're going to get from the mainstream media, no, where they're still glorifying what is working, I'm here to give you guys that intel, give you guys information that you're not going to find elsewhere, okay? So this is something that, again, is underneath the surface of the market, has no exposure, but you know what, presents a very good trading opportunity. And that's how you go ahead and find your edge in this type of market, guys. Let me share this with you. This is one of our members from over at the Patreon, and Michael says, what do you see on MasterCard right now? It's in a downtrend, up against downward trending line, tapping the 50% Fibonacci. This is a good one because what I'll do is I'll quickly show you guys how in 3 minutes I'll go ahead and look at the charts and understand what it's telling me and seeing if it's a good opportunity or not. So again, this is something that you guys will be able to do. All you got to do is just keep watching the content and you'll get there. All right, let's pull up the chart. Okay. All right, so first of all, in this type of situation, what I'm going to be looking at, guys, is how much volatility do we have? Has this thing moved? Because I'm taking this from an options trading perspective, okay? That's how we make the big bucks, options trading, not by buying stock. Option trading just gives us that firepower, right? Where we're able to go ahead and put in a relatively small amount of capital, or a small amount of capital than we would have if we were in the direct stock market, and we can multiply that capital many times over in a short period of time, right? That's the beauty about options trading. That's why I want you guys to get into it if you're not already. First of all, we can see that in the last 4 weeks, this thing hasn't moved anywhere. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks, no movement. So this thing is just stuck in a range. Already, I've pretty much disqualified this as a trade for today because of the fact that it's got no movement. There's nothing that stopped this. There's nothing to stop this staying in that same range for the next 6 weeks. Okay, you could stay in that range for 10 weeks, and with our options trading, we want movement, we want volatility, we want prices breaking out and through ranges. This thing is stuck in a range already, I can see, because of the last 4 weeks it hasn't moved anywhere. But what Michael was talking about is, he was talking about the fact that this thing is tapping back into what is a level of resistance, which is this purple line right here. But the thing you guys should see immediately is that we have this triple bottom support that's formed. Okay, so this is a strong area where we've seen buyers come in and buy up the stock. So I'm taking it that Mike wants to go on for a put trade on this, to short this, to make money on the way down. But if we've gone ahead and secured a very strong level of support, we cannot go ahead and enter into a put trade. It wouldn't make sense. Okay, this thing has been bought out several times at around this $439 level. Okay, so it would be very disadvantageous to us to go ahead and try and short this when it's already clearly got in a level of support where the buyers are not going to let this fall through in the short term. Again, if I'm looking further down, I'm looking for gaps, so where price will go ahead and fill a gap. There's no gap there either. So not only have you got that triple bottom support, you've got no target gap level below as well. So shorting it here wouldn't make any sense. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put on a moving average. I'm going to put on a 50-day moving average just to see where this thing is relative to its 50-day moving average. Okay, as you guys can see, it is below its 50-day moving average. Now remember, I showed you guys that chart, I'll show you again. We have only 44% of the market is above their 50-day moving average. So that means that MasterCard is part of the 55% that is below it, okay? So what I would wait to do in this case is I'd actually wait for it to break through this area of resistance. Because once it goes ahead and breaks through that area of resistance, which I'll show you guys now, what it's going to do is then it's going to climb above that 50-day moving average. So now that puts it in that 45%. at that point in time, when it climbs above that 50-day moving average, I will look to then see how much of the rest of the market has moved above its 50-day moving average. Because let's say now we're working with 55% of the market, 60% of the market above their 50-day moving average. Now you have what we call overall momentum in the market, right? So we have a much bigger participation from the rest of the market in the overall momentum. I wait for it to tap back in, confirm that level as area of support, and then it's very likely you're going to see this thing go higher towards the 460, 470 range, 470 level. So that's how I'd go ahead and approach this particular situation. All right, I wouldn't short it. I wait for this setup to form and then simply take the trade. All right, this is a good one if you see this kind of thing playing out. And again, this is all just based on the 8 years strong of market experience, trading the market and being successful in this game. You guys will get there as well. All you need to do is just keep at it, stay consistently watching the content, ask me any questions that you have. That's gonna boost your learning curve, and it's gonna get you guys to that level of profitability much quicker than you would if you guys were doing this all alone. Okay, so guys, that's the video for today. I'll catch you on the next one.